With only 2 events remaining in the Pro Dice Tour, our competitors return today to the Tower, in a contest that's going to require a real team effort. We will see every competitor take to the field today in the slots point race, and teams will need to hit the right slot to have a chance at taking this one down. Today's competition will take place over a series of 10 heats, as we take a look at the view our competitors will have from the top of the ramp. We do expect to see a fair amount of bumping and jostling for position. The back of the landing area has been reinforced, but our medical team remains on standby just in case. It looks like we're ready to kick things off here with Heat 1, which includes our current competition leaders, the Brown Bears. Into the tower they go, and it looks like we've lost one. That is where they finished, but it appears that Glow from the Night Rangers has not made it into the landing area, landing some distance away by the bleachers. Let's take another look at how that happened. Glow hits the one slot hard before just bouncing over the safety wall. We do have 2 teams who've scored the maximum here, but it's not a good start for the Night Rangers, who've been through some tough times in recent events. It looks as though Glow is okay though, and that's how they sit at the end of Heat 1. Heat 2 now lined up at the top of the ramp. Let's see what they've got to offer. Down the ramp they come, and that's a solid spread. It's looking rather crowded in that 4 slot, and one team has got in for 5. I believe that might be the Psychedelics. As we see, Vibe is the last off the ramp, but just takes a deflection to end up in that 5 slot. So hopes of a perfect score still alive for 3 of our teams, and that means everyone on the board so far except for the Night Rangers. Heat 3 now in the starting blocks. In they go, and it looks like we've got a variety of scores this time. The D20 is only managing a 1 here. Let's see how the other teams have fared. Looks like there's several competitors in that number 3 slot. It looks as though Mary Jane from the Psychedelics has got in for 5. Does rebound off the back wall, but that's okay. So everyone will pick up some points here, although just 1 for the D20s. And the Psychedelics will maintain their perfect score with 3 dice to come. There is the starting lineup for Heat 4. Down the ramp, and one of them is a little too keen. There is one missing from the slots, as you can see there. I believe it might be the High Rollers. And that is Snake Eyes being checked out by our medical team. Let's see how this happened. Looks as though he came down with a bit too much pace and couldn't control the landing. A high-scoring heat this one though. We've got 3 teams landing in that 5 slot. Looks as though there is no serious damage. So after 4 heats, the Grim Reapers join the Psychedelics on 10 points. Team Perfection also in the running with a current score of 9. The Night Rangers and Team Fantastic off the front in this heat. Into the tower, and they've hit the landing area pretty hard. There looks to be 1 in the 5 slot, and I'm not sure if the Straight Shooters have scored any points here. Let's take another look as we see Bullseye, just rebound off the divider there. Just needed a little more pace to deflect into one of the slots. But that is where they've landed maximum points for Team Fantastic. The Night Rangers also pick up 4 alongside the outer spaces. And we're already beginning to see a divergence among some of these scores, with the Straight Shooters finding themselves near the bottom of the table. Heat 6 now, and we have the Psychedelics and the Grim Reapers off the front line. They come down with good pace, and oh dear, what's happened here? One of our competitors getting tangled up in the crowd. It appears to be Blossom from the Sweethearts. Our medical team currently investigating that. As we see in the replay, it would have been a good skateboard trick. Blossom grinds along the partition before flying off into the crowd. A few spectators and a security guard also caught up in the action. The Sweethearts checking that their team member is in fact okay. And after all of that, we have 2 teams landing in the 5 slot, which means the Grim Reapers have not missed a beat so far, standing strong with a perfect score and perhaps eyeing up another medal today. The pressure goes on now as we move into Heat 7. Slash from the Grim Reapers off the 2nd row. Down they go, and that's another incident in the bleachers. A huge stack of dice in the 4 slot, but pandemonium on the ground, and it is the Grim Reapers. It's come undone for them here as we see Slash veer down the right side and completely miss the targets. This view gives us another look at the collision. You can see a few members of the audience forced to take evasive action. Our medical team's still looking into the aftermath of that one. Outside of that drama, it is a close heat with 4 teams picking up 4 points. The Grim Reapers understandably a little concerned, but that will be the end of their perfect record, and it is the Brown Bears in outer spaces looking strong right now. As the Grim Reapers falter, it could be a chance for the Psychedelics in Heat 8. In they go, and oh goodness, it's all gone wrong here. The pressure really getting to our competitors late in the day. Once again, it is the Night Rangers and the Straight Shooters who've bounced out this time. We can see Shine lands in the 4 slot. In fact, there may have been some contact there. And Justice, unable to stay out of trouble either, follows the same path to find herself outside the landing area. A forgettable day so far for the Night Rangers and the Straight Shooters. And in fact, we're hearing from the judges about another irregularity. We can see here Big B from the High Rollers failed to get off the course in time after Heat 7, still sitting in that 2 slot when Heat 8 came down. Which means, in fact, we've only had 3 successful point scorers in this heat. There is Chill from the Psychedelics showing up now. What is going on here? In the replay, that appears to be Chill landing in the 1 slot before bouncing out alongside Justice, as we see the judges talking to the High Rollers about a possible penalty for failing to clear the course on time. It's all happening here, folks, in Heat 8, and it will be just a warning for the High Rollers, perhaps a little lucky to come away with that result. And as the dust settles, it looks like we have a 3-way tie heading into the last set of heats. The Halloweeners are one of those teams, and their final competitor today is Glinda. They come down the ramp, and once again, I believe that is the Night Rangers, who apparently intend to finish the day as they started by overjumping the mark. And it is the Captain Lumi who lands on the divider but just can't keep it under control. So the Night Rangers will not be adding to their score here. The Halloweeners pick up 4 alongside Team Fantastic. So I believe those teams will be in medal contention depending on what happens in the final heat. I imagine some conversations will be taking place in the Night Rangers camp after today's event, as the Halloweeners finish with 21 as the current mark to beat. Team Fantastic in provisional 2nd place, but it is the Brown Bears and perhaps a little surprisingly the Outer Spacers with a chance to take gold in the final heat. Teddy and Prove both off the 2nd row. A 5 will be good enough for gold, a 4 will send us to a tiebreaker. Down they come in the final heat, and it doesn't look like anyone scored the maximum. In fact, 3 teams have got it all wrong. The first few down the ramp all veering off to the right before Team Perfection overcorrects on the other side. But Teddy has managed to post a 4 for the Brown Bears, which I believe will send us into a gold medal playoff. There are the standings, so Team Fantastic will claim bronze, and the Brown Bears and Halloween is tied on 21, so they will roll again. Both teams, of course, already guaranteed a medal, but which color will it be? And both teams turning to their captains, so it will be Wanda versus Fuzzy for a gold medal. In they go and down they come, and it's all over. Was it ever in doubt, folks? When the pressure goes on in the Pro Dice Tour, there is one team and one team only that has consistently delivered, as we see Wanda land in the 1 slot before unceremoniously flying out the other side. It didn't have to be a 5 in the end, but why not win in style? Fuzzy sits triumphantly in the 5 slot, and the Brown Bears have done it again. Our medical team attending to Wanda, but it's more likely to be bruised pride than anything else. The Brown Bears now come together to celebrate another gold to add to their medal collection, and our 3 most decorated teams will fill the podium today. The Halloweeners may not feel like winners right now, but it is a season-best performance, alongside the Outer Spacers, who get closer to the podium today than they have in any event so far. So the crowd showing their appreciation for another outstanding performance by the Brown Bears. Contributions from all 5 members were required today, and once again they have delivered. And with today's victory, the Brown Bears open up an almost unassailable lead with 1 event to go. The Halloweeners move into 3rd outright with their first ever silver of the Pro Dice Tour, but 5 teams still in with a chance for that bronze medal spot. So the competition is going to be red hot next week. We've had plenty of thrills and spills here today in event 9 of the Pro Dice Tour, so make sure you're here for the season finale as we crown a champion in event 10. From all of us here at the Dice Sports Network, we bid you good night.